Hey guys, and welcome to another new Let's Play. And this is Let's Play Metroid on the original Nintendo, as you can see by the date of the copyright. So anyway, this is an LP I'm going to be doing. I'm already doing two, that Oddworld game and Wind Waker. But this is going to be part of the 8-bit summer that MasterXPlouDer, I think his name is doing. And you probably saw NCS's LP of the Super Contra, or Super C, whatever it's called. And it's basically part of that. So I decided that I'd do Metroid because I've never... Well, I've beaten... there goes my controller. Fucking up already. Not a good sign. Okay, anyway. I've already beaten this game, like, once, and that's the only time I've ever beat it. And that was a while ago, but I started a practice playthrough that I'm currently working on. I'm pretty far into it, but, yeah, I'm probably gonna not get too far in it. That way I can kind of keep close to where I am in my LP, that way I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so anyway, well, let's just go ahead and start, as I've already done. So this is the very first game in the Metroid series. Definitely, probably the one that I've played the least. Actually, probably besides Metroid 2, which, well, I've actually only beat that one once, so I guess it's kind of the same as this. But, you know, despite it being, you know, the lowest graphic one and probably the hardest Metroid, it's actually pretty good, I gotta admit. So, this is going to be a 100% run of it, as most people do when they LP this game, because without getting all of the power-ups and upgrades and everything, this game can be a little difficult. So, I really recommend that if you're going to play and beat this game, you should get all of the power-ups. Whew! I almost got hit by that little crawling guy. I have no idea what most of the creatures in this game are called. I know that the shriek bats, or that the things that fly down to kind of like suicide bomb you, those are shriek bats. And I didn't mind taking a hit from that flying guy because those things tend to drop 20 energy refill things. So that's really good. I have a little outline thing that I'm using so that I can kind of keep track of what I'm doing. So, yeah. But, so, as you can see, or you probably noticed this, I am using auto fire or auto rapid fire, whatever they call it, that's with this emulator. And I'm doing that because, honestly, this game is, you know, difficult as it is, so, you know, having a little extra firepower doesn't really hurt. And anyone who's actually played this game and beat it can kind of sympathize, whatever. They can kind of sympathize with me about, you know, using auto fire because, you know, this game is really difficult a little bit. So anyway, we need to head up to the first door on the right, and there's the phone. And I don't care to pick it up, so it can just stay there and ring for all I care. It's really loud though. Let's see who it is. Oh, must be a bill collector or something. Parents don't pay their bills, and then we get bill collectors randomly calling, and it makes you think someone else is calling. So you check the phone, and you see it's a bill collector, and you realize you just wasted your time. But anyway, so we need to get to the first door on the right in this blue shaft, and this game has no map, has no indication of where you should go. So if you were back in the day when this game like first came out and you were playing it, you probably had to just explore to find out where you had to go. And I can imagine that it probably took most people like at least 5 hours to beat this game. Probably more if you were playing it for your very first time. And like, I had to use a guide to beat it my first time, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't really care, because this game is really difficult without a guide. But anyway, I've actually played this game on an actual NES, because my cousin, he used to have an original Nintendo, and he had games like the only games that he had that I actually knew and actually played was Kirby's Adventure, I think it was, or like the one that they ported to the Game Boy and called Kirby's Dream Land or whatever. But anyway, I played that a lot, and that's actually the very first game I actually beat on an actual Nintendo. But I played that and beat that, and he had this game, Metroid, which I played a couple times. I got really frustrated because, like, the farthest I got was to, I believe I got to Kraid once, but I had like, I don't know, 20 missiles, and like I had like the bombs and everything, but I only had like 20 missiles, so it kind of, whoops, was a little stupid for me to actually try to fight Kraid. Ugh. Yeah, so these guys that are coming out of these like tube things, the best strategy to take these guys, or to get past these guys, is to kill them until they drop a power-up like that, because as long as the power-up that they dropped is still on the screen, they will not respawn. So, whoops, did not mean to go here yet. Sorry about that. Because that takes us to Norfair, and we don't want to go to Norfair quite yet. We want to get a couple things before we go there. But yeah, just kill them, make sure they drop a power-up, and then you can go past them. And, yeah, excuse me if sometimes during this LP I don't really talk. That will be because I'm trying to concentrate. Because this game is, you know, a game where you really want to concentrate and not mess around too much. Okay, so I can kind of, I guess, grind on these guys for some health. Keep dropping missiles that I don't really need. I have max missiles. But yeah, we already picked up our first missile. I guess you could call it missile expansion. That's what they call it in Super Metroid. But you get like 250 something missiles in this game, but you don't collect what's 250 divided by 5? You don't collect missiles to actually lead up to a 250 missile count, because once you defeat 2 of the bosses that you fight in this game, they each give you like 75 missiles, so that's like 150 missiles just coming from defeating enemies. Alright, so, ooh, I didn't start my timer, so I have no idea what we're up to. I should have started the timer. It's not a very good thing. But I guess I'll just guesstimate and kind of find a breaking point. But anyway, so we got the first missile, we got the Morph Ball, and now we need to head back to that first blue shaft that we were in, the first vertical shaft. And you're going to get our first beam upgrade, or beam modification, or whatever, I guess. You get like, I don't know, 4 or 5, or maybe like 3 or 4 beam upgrades in this game, because I know like one is the long beam, which we're about to get, and you get the ice beam and you get the wave beam. But the thing is, you can't have the wave and ice beam all at the same time, and I need to start being a little more careful, because I keep like taking hits like crazy. But I guess it's okay to take hits when you're around these flying guys, because if you kill them, they tend to drop 20 life up. Oh, I already said that. Why am I saying that again? I hate repeating myself, but I just did it. Anyway, so you get the wave beam and the ice beam in this game, but you don't get them both at the same time like you do in Super Metroid. But you can kind of like alternate between them. But for the most part, we'll probably just end up keeping the ice beam a couple times. But the thing is, the wave beam is just kind of a way to make your beam stronger, but the ice beam is a really good way to freeze enemies. But there's actually one location where you can get the wave beam in the game, I think. But there's like 2 locations where you can get the ice beam. So it's not really a bad thing to switch back to the ice beam every now and then. Alright, so we need to head back to that orange shaft or that yellow shaft, whatever you want to classify it as. I think it looks more orange than it does yellow. But on your way to where we need to go now, make sure that you try to collect missiles to get your missiles back, because you need 5 missiles to get through another red door, which takes 5 missiles. There's only like 3 kinds of doors in this game. There's red doors, there's yellow doors, then there's blue doors. There might be one other type of door that I can't exactly recall right now. But blue doors only take just 1 normal shot to kill. Or to open, to kill. Yeah, like you can really kill doors. Red doors are the next type of door, and they take 5 missiles to open. And then there's yellow doors, that take like 10 missiles to open. But you only see those like occasionally, like after bosses. But anyway, so now we get to see these guys right here. You see them in Super Metroid, like in that one room when you're first going to Brinstar. And these guys are another good way to gain your health back, because they tend to drop 20 health or 20 energy refills. Okay, so when you're in these small rooms with these guys, just drop into your Morph Ball until they fly up past you, and then you can just get up and walk. That's a good way to avoid getting hit by them. Up. Okay, anyway, so luckily, if you had only like 50 energy by the time you got here, you could get this energy tank, which automatically refills your health and also gives you another block of energy, which means that you can now take 99 more damage. Alright, so let's keep going this way, and we're going to get to another orange shaft, as you'll see. And in there, I believe we're going to get another upgrade or something. I'm not sure. I think we're going to get, yeah, we're going to get bombs in this next orange shaft. And they're just basically like the Morph Ball bombs in Super Metroid or Metroid Prime or whatever game you've played that has bombs in that you can reference to. Alright. So this is actually like the first time I've recorded since I had my wisdom teeth taken out, as I mentioned I believe in like my last segment of Wind Waker that I recorded. Well, yeah, definitely oral surgery is not a very fun thing, I can tell you. Nope, I don't want to use missiles because we're going to need them to open the store. But anyone who's had like their wisdom teeth taken out or anything like that can like understand how I feel. Like, it didn't really hurt or anything, really. It was just more of a nuisance because, like, for the past, oh, I don't know, 4 days or whatever since it's been since I got them cut out or whatever, I've had to eat nothing but, like soft foods. Like, I've been pigging out on, like, ice cream and pudding and cottage cheese and whatever else I can eat. So here's our bombs. And, well, like, it hasn't really hurt. I mean, they gave me, like, Vicodin and ibuprofen and, like, penicillin just in case I got an infection. So I've been kind of, like, doped up on, like, medication lately. But it hasn't really hurt. But the biggest problem about it is that it occasionally, like, bled. Like, it hasn't really done it, like, today. Because I'm pretty sure it's past that point to where, you know, it's healed enough to where it's not going to bleed. but it bleeds and it's nasty because one of my things that I like really hate, one of my pet peeves is like the taste of blood. I just can't stand it. And then like especially, you know, when you continuously have to taste it because your area is bleeding, it's just nasty. But why am I talking about that? No one wants to hear about that. But yeah, you know, that was actually like the first time I've ever had like any kind of like surgery at all. Like I've never had a broken bone or anything like that. And it was fun because when I went in there to go do it, or go to get that done, like the nurse asked me if I wanted laughing gas, and I said of course because I love laughing gas. I mean, it's just like being high. I mean, not that I know what that feels like or anything, but I love laughing gas because it gets you like really, really, really mellow to where you just don't care. Someone could come in and like bust your knuckles or something and you wouldn't care. You'd just be like, ugh, God, that hurts a little bit. But yeah, so they put me on the laughing gas, and then like I was all calm and everything, and then they started, you know, telling me what they were gonna do, and of course I wasn't really paying attention because I was, you know, half out on the laughing gas already. And so then they came in and tried to put me on an IV, I guess to put me to sleep, and they tried to do it on my left arm, and unfortunately they couldn't like get it right away. I guess they just couldn't find it on my left arm, so then they had to go to my right arm. And so they got the IV in and everything, and it started going, and like I was only like conscious for like 5 minutes after the IV was in, so that like took me out like really, really, really quickly. So we did that, and then like the last thing I remember is like the nurse told me that when I woke up, she said like most of my face would be numb, which I was kind of expecting, so you know, it wasn't really anything new to me. But she told me that, and then I was out. I don't remember anything after that. And then like the next thing I know, like I woke up in my mom's car, and I was just like, ugh. And she kept like I guess the doctor or whatever told her not to let me fall asleep. So she kept like bugging me or she kept like shaking me and poking me and trying to keep me awake, and asked me if I was okay. And she did that like 10 times, and like I was still being like really affected by the IV, or the general anesthesia, whatever they call it. But so at one point I remember like she was bugging me, so I just like flicked her off, and she's like, "Oh, that's not a nice thing to do." So it was funny. And she said like as soon as she got me to the car, which I guess that must have been really funny because, you know, me being like still partially unconscious, and then her and the nurse trying to walk me to the car. She said as soon as she sat me down in the car and got me, you know, all situated, she said that I said, "What the fuck?" Which I can imagine, you know, me in my half-conscious state, you know, being partially confused about what had happened. You know, I was probably like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" But, yeah, good times, good times. So, but, like, the doctor I had to go to get this done, was like an hour away from, where I lived. So even by the time I got home, I was still, partially out. And I remember, like, trying to walk into the house, and, my mom was like, "Do you need me to help me? Or do you need me to help you?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she, like, grabbed me, and we started walking to the house, and, like, right before we got up to the door, I was like, "Okay, I'm fine, I can do this." And so I, like, kinda, like, started, like, stumbling towards the door, but I made it, and I just sat down. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure, geez, I didn't really talk about the game for, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes there. But I guess it's nice to share your stories of fun. But anyway, I'm pretty sure we're up to at least 15 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and break this part here. And next time on Let's Play, Metroid, we will move on and continue through Norfair. So see you guys next time. Bye.